So Martin Gerrard are one of the three big agencies in the area that we live, i.e. Mill Hill. And one of the big reasons I think we were really keen to engage with them is the fact that they had a good property portfolio and they had a good customer service ethos, i.e. if we did call them or reach out to them, they're the first ones to get back, either with the fact that they could meet with us and or give us a date or when they could. So I think that kind of really set them apart from the other agents, where if they're really busy, they couldn't really care about wanting to get in touch, or if they weren't, they'd really overload you with a lot of contacts saying, meet us now. So I think these guys kind of maintain the right balance in being able to contact us and also give us the time to reflect on, some of the suggestions they made initially around properties or things that we should be looking for. So what Martin Gerrard have done for us is they've done the sale of our current property. They've also helped us secure another property, and they've helped us do it in exactly the location that we wanted them to find something for us, in the time that we wanted to find something, but also the engagement with the seller and the buyer in terms of if we wanted something done at the new property that we were buying. Martin Gerrard were the ones that were able to communicate that with the seller. In terms of the buyer, things around completion, around when we wanted to exchange, some of the things we wanted or we wanted to exclude from the sale, they were able to communicate as well. So they kind of put themselves in our shoes and be able to have the conversation with the seller as well as the buyer. From a real estate agent, I think originally the ask is very simple, is help find the property, and if it's a dream property or not, but more importantly, help secure it in a seamless fashion, help negotiate the value, get us through the paperwork, and then close the deal. I guess our asks were a little different. Is we had a very specific ring-fenced community that we were looking to set up our next home in, which was pretty much the area we're in at the moment. Not kind of be very vocal and public about our intention to move, given we're in a very tight-knit community and we didn't want to start letting people know that we're looking elsewhere, because we've got kids, we've got friends, we've got family around here, so we just wanted to keep it under the radar. So absolutely discretion is a must. Third is someone who kind of pre-filters the properties or the options that come to us. So typically real estate agents would just bombard you with everything under the sun. I mean, even to date we get mailers from Finchley or Totteridge, which was never even on our radar to look at. So I think from a real estate agent, apart from the bare basics of helping us find a property and close the deal, we were looking for someone who uses discretion, judgment, and also understand what is the kind of the emotional perspective behind our moves. It's not just about wanting a bigger place, but it's ensuring that it's in the same neighborhood, it's with the same community. It also kind of ticks all the right boxes from my own personal commute to work, my wife's commute into her work, as well as her family and friends, etc. So I think it's just kind of the holistic package. And it's hard to define, because at the end of the day, although it's a brick and mortar exchange, I think it's also about the relationship you build with an individual that you let into your home, and anything else around it, your finances, your issues around what can happen with when you move, etc. So I think just someone who you felt comfortable and trusted to let into a little bit of a private space to have a conversation. So I think Martin Gerrard did all of the above and more, because what they've taken on themselves is not just the managing relationship with the seller and the buyer. What they've done is given us a lot of critical advice as well during the way. So things around how we should structure our deal, how we should look at our finances, key contacts that we can connect with, be it a solicitor, be it mortgage broker, and also other references that we can speak to who've recently engaged with them and been through a deal. So things like common watchouts, things like timing around exchange, completion, etc., which we thought was a lot more we got in return for what we'd have otherwise expected from an estate agent. So yes, we've had a lot of experience with other agents, both for buy-to-let properties as well as buying and selling properties before. I think where Martin Gerrard really shine or outshine the other agents is two things. One is their ability to actually move very, very quickly, and their integration of networks, i.e. in terms of solicitors, of mortgage advisors, lawyers, movers, packers, you name them. They're really well integrated into the communities they serve. So we found that was a fantastic one-stop shop for us, which other estate agents didn't seem to offer. I think the thing that really sticks out from a service perspective was the personal commitment to get the job done. So irrespective whether it was Greg Kruder or Jatin Shah or Toby Jackson, we wouldn't know any different. All three of these individuals were equally vested in getting us what we wanted, and absolutely no ask was not doable. So each one of them have done exactly what we would have expected and more, and we didn't find any difference between interacting with either or of them. So we did have bumps along the way, and in terms of we had a chain, and quite a massive chain, on both the buying and selling of this property. We also were not necessarily aware of some of the service providers we have available to us, be it from a mortgage perspective or of a legal perspective, and we wouldn't have been able to do some of the key things that we wanted to do, i.e. completion dates, make some of the asks of the seller, etc. If it hadn't been for Martin Gerard, the other estate agents that we've seen usually tend to be very hands-off. Once the deal is complete or they've just connected two people together, they walk away. Martin Gerard are even with us today in as much that they ensure that right from our move to all our paperwork is handled, and they're absolutely on top of it, which I think is a very, very refreshing take on what real estate can offer. I agreed to give this testimonial because A, we're exceptionally happy with the service we provided, and I think it's absolutely due and deserved. But more importantly, I think it can help deal with some of the stigma that typically people attach to real estate agents being quite pushy salesmen that are all concerned about their commission and nothing else. And I think the point that we're trying to make here, that we've built a really long-term relationship, we believe, with Martin Gerard as a service provider. We'll certainly be looking to them to help sell further properties or buy more if we need, and recommend them to family and friends. But more importantly, the whole experience of a house move is usually quite stressful, and it's a welcome release to be able to share that stress and in fact reduce some of that stress if someone else takes it off you. So Martin Gerard have done a cracking job, and I couldn't say anything more apart from the fact they're a stellar bunch. Yeah.